Monday Minute with the puppy of the paranormal. I'm Crispin Paul. I hope y'all had a great weekend. We had what they're calling, what do they call it here? Snowmageddon. Kind of like Armageddon, I guess, but it's Snowmageddon. Fun, not. Anyway, with us as always, Jan is here with us again this morning, as always. Joining in on the Monday Minute. Yeah, we had this blizzard, and it caused a few back issues, which I guess is not surprising to anyone of my age and or stature. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about a couple things today. First thing I wanted to talk about is I have re-edited, re-released a clip from a little while ago from Holy Trinity in Jericho. This was basically kind of another Facebook live clip, I think, that we were doing, and then I had the GoPro going, and really a pretty amazing scenario, because we had REM-Pod, K2, and Tri-Field meter all going nuts at the same time, and for an extended period. Now, this was in the convent at Jericho. If you've ever been there, the convent can be an active place for sure. So I went through the clip again, but this time I ran the clip through Goldwave. And wouldn't you know it, we did get some comments as we were doing that clip. So if you want to see the updated clip from Jericho, which I definitely do recommend, get on the page and just scroll down. You'll find it. It's there, and it is some interesting comments as things are going on. I'll tell you, it's been a while since I can remember being in a location where we had REM-Pod, K2, and the Tri-Field meter all going off simultaneously and not sitting right next to each other. Okay, in the dining room in Jericho, there's a fairly good-sized table. So we had, the Tri-Field in one end, the K2 on the other end. So there's, like 6 foot separation. Baseline-wise, it was not a place of high EMF. That's for sure. But yeah, you definitely want to check it out. Jericho. Okay, what else are we going to talk about today? Let's take a trip back down to Texas. Yesterday I was watching some of the clips that I had taken in the drugstore in Cuero, Texas. I would love to get locked in that place for a night. Now, we did catch some EVPs there when we were on the second level, and our theory is it's got to do with the Civil War counter that's in there, which was used as an operating table back in the Civil War. So God only knows the energy, the misery that was connected to that table. But if you ever get down to Cuero, I recommend going down their street there. Now, okay, I don't remember the name of the street. I don't. But there is one downtown street, and it's all turn of the century kind of buildings. I'm not talking 20 to 21st here. I'm talking 19th to 20th. Dennis and I walked the entire street when we were there. But this location was originally a drugstore. Oh, let me think. 1889. Now it's a county museum. But just a fascinating place to spend some time in. And by the way, it's free, okay? So you don't need to gather up 15 people, so it's only, $1.38 each to go into somewhere. This museum, back in the day, some things that come to mind. I literally saw a prescription for Lysol for a feminine issue, shall we say? I don't want to elaborate on this too much, but a prescription for Lysol, ladies, I do not recommend. I've just made. Also, back in those days, you could go to the drugstore and buy cocaine, morphine, heroin. Literally buy it after. Well, it is drugs, so you buy it at the drugstore, I guess. But I mean, just these little bottles about that. I don't want to even elaborate on that too much, but it's just crazy the things that you could get back in the day. I don't even think you needed a prescription for half of this stuff. You just told the pharmacy guy, yeah, I want, I don't know. I know street lingo for some of this stuff, but I don't think they were using that kind of terminology back in 1889 or whatever. So anyway, Cuero, Texas. Now you may be wondering, well, what's Cuero? Good morning, Jamie. I hope you had a good weekend and didn't get killed by the snow. Anyway, why am I talking about Cuero? Because Cuero is where we stayed when we went to Yorktown. Now, if you've been following along, there are some secrets on how we made Yorktown happen. And not because it's some kind of private thing, but just there is in a roundabout way, a big name para-celebrity that was involved in this, and then they weren't involved in this. And, Chris and Dennis are several states from home. So we gotta do what we gotta do. And we did. Now we do have some posts on Yorktown previously. This one I just put up a few days back. It's not a very long clip, but it's an interesting clip, and I suggest you get over to YouTube and check it out. Now, when you're going over there, and on our Facebook page, you're gonna hear me rolling on this. I think every Monday minute till doomsday, most likely. But please give us a like, give us a sub, give us a comment. That helps that YouTube algorithm, and actually the Facebook algorithm too, but it just helps it out so much to help get our content out there. Now, I do realize our content can be a little different at times. There is no running and screaming and giggling and shit knows what else. I can name channels, but oh, let's see here. Hibernated. Yeah, Jamie, I don't blame you. I was working at snowblower on 3 different occasions between Saturday and Sunday. All right. Anyway, back to Yorktown. So we have recently had a private, and Jamie's with us. She was at that private, so she knows about that. We had an amazing scenario happen. I talked about this last week on the minute, but if you didn't see last week's episode, we had got an EVP up at the top of a flight of stairs where, let's say, a scenario of high emotion transpired. Jamie, am I putting that in a good way? Anyway, as we're going up these stairs, we get an EVP that said O'Reilly. Um, Class A. It said O'Reilly the first time I heard it. I didn't need to filter it. I didn't need to amp it up. O'Reilly. Thought it was a little unusual. Didn't really put a whole lot into it until, I think it was 2 days later, where the person that invited us over to this private messaged and said, "You do know what my maiden name is." Dot, dot, dot. So just imagine that message. And I'll tell you, that hit me like a slap in the head. What? Are you effing kidding me? Thank you. Mind blown. Every once in a while, if you've been involved in this field, shall we say, as long as I've been, every once in a while, you just get that scenario that's just eye opening, and this is one of those times. For a spirit to actually say a woman's maiden name, I reviewed literally thousands of EVPs by this point. I have never experienced that before, ever. So you want to check that out. Once again, if you go on the channel, please give us a like, give us a sub, give us a comment. If you're really feeling generous, do all 3. All right, let's circle the wagons here. I do realize I do tangent at times. Let's go back to Yorktown. Now, those new to Yorktown, I made my little comment before, but all right, I don't want to elaborate on who the person was or the scenario that transpired. But let's just say there are times in your life where a series of events have to happen. Yes, Jamie, I agree. A series of events has to happen in an exact Also, now we were at Yorktown on a Saturday night. That Monday, the town of Yorktown shut the place down. Some safety concerns, from what I understand. Now, the place is, it's dusty. It's a little bit of a mess. But with the exception of one wall in the basement, I don't see anything that would be a safety concern. The roof's not caving in. There are not gaping holes in the floor or anything like that. So I don't think that's a point of contention, point of worry. What the current status is on Yorktown, I don't know. But I can only give you what I do know, and that's what we do. We give it to you straight. We give it to you real. No, no fantasy. No candles. No crystals. No conjuring. Just real para content. Let's continue. So in our last video, like I said, and I just posted this within the last 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was. It's already later into the evening. It is a hot and humid night in Texas. I mean, it had to be, I don't know, 85, maybe 95. I rarely wear my vest over a t-shirt. I was sweating so bad that I had sweated through my t-shirt. My vest was actually wet, and my blue jeans were wet. How much a man got to sweat to have wet pants? All right, we can go down a whole nother road there, and we're not going to do that. This is not what the Monday Minute is for. So anyway, Dennis and I are in the front entrance foyer. We were using that as home base. Jamie, let me see if I can check on this. I charged it up. I hope this headset is functioning. Give me just a moment, please. Sorry about that. I rebooted my headset. Jamie, can you tell me if I'm coming through better right now? Is that possible? Hopefully, I'm better. Jamie says I'm kind of hard to hear and staticky. I rebooted my headset. Hopefully that has taken care of the problem. All right, I'm going back to Yorktown here. So if you listen to the clip, you'll find that you can hear very well. Very odd. Wow. Let's try something else here. Let's see. Is that a little better? I got rid of my first headset because there was issues, and now I'm having problems with the second headset. I've turned the volume up on the headset. Hopefully that will take care of this. Anyway, you can hear very well. It sounded like somebody. There we go. Maybe I finally got it, Jamie. Thank you for the input. I needed that. You can hear the footsteps in the clip very well. Sounds like somebody running. It's a little too quick for walking. Sounds like running. But that was just the beginning. So we had packed up and we had gone down to the surgical suite. Did get a couple of whispery like EVPs. And as I'm speaking, at one point, I hear a voice. And what it sounded like to me was somebody said, "I'm dead." Now, we are in the surgical suite, or one of them anyway, and I'm speaking as this is going on, and I actually heard this. As the clip goes, we also get an EVP. Oh, yes, you definitely do. You definitely want to check this out. And I recommend this clip to everybody else out there. You definitely got to check this out. So, again, as I'm speaking, something else comes across. But this is an EVP. The "I'm dead," that was actually a disembodied voice. Okay? And in moments after that, I get another EVP that says, somebody tells me, "Sick." Jamie, have a great day. Thank you. Somebody says sick. So as we're going along, and I'm getting these whispery EVPs, I proved that I heard it because I had mentioned to Dennis, I heard a voice that said what sounded like, "I'm dead." I physically heard this. Okay? So we have footsteps, we have a disembodied voice, and we have EVPs all wrapped into the same clip. And this all transpired within a 10-minute time slot. Really, probably closer to a 7 or 8-minute time slot. Obviously, I edit out some of the stuff in between because that's just... I know certain people, they will just like put every second of their investigation in a clip. In reality, a lot of times it's just not that exciting. Now, if you've never done it before, I know, you've been watching TV and you've been watching The Boys and they're here, they're there, they're this, they're that, and a lot of times it's just not that exciting, especially when you're not hearing some of this stuff in real time, okay? We're hearing it in review. So all that we rarely experience that. But anyway, check that stuff out. Get over to YouTube. Get on the channel, please. Give us a like, give us a sub, give us a comment. We need you to help things grow. And while I'm thinking about it, too, and personally, I think this is very special. As I look at our followers list on Facebook, the amount of para teams that we have in our followers list just touches me right here. It really does. Because from my perspective, you must be doing something right if teams follow you. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate every individual that has joined us. One in particular, my dear friend Lori. Lori, I hope you are well. We haven't spoke in a little while, but I hope you're doing well. Lori, a dear friend of ours, who we met in Texas at Flint Creek Ranch, I may add. But back to where I was going, the amount of teams that follow us blows my mind, and I'll tell you, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. That tells me we are doing something right and presenting the real deal. Once again, no candles, no crystals, no conjuring, real para. Okay? Get on there, check it out. Check out the re-edited clip from Jericho. I think you're going to like that. If you're a person that likes to see gadgets working, that's a good clip to watch. Outside of that, where I am, it's going to be a cold week. So if you're out there, bundle on up. And please, be good to each other. I know it's not always easy, but we're all we got. So be good to each other, okay? That being said, peace out.